Hi guys, welcome back to Integrated Science. So today I have pulled up for us our activity on quantitative and qualitative. So from previously we have talked about the two different in terms of how we can express our data when we are, so we're still talking about the scientific method. And so when we make observations and we collect data, these are the two terms that we will be using quite a bit to kind of go over what we can kind of derive from what we are observing. So remember, quantitative is a measurement with a number. So if you look down here, it says quantitative, collect data, both quantitative and qualitative. So quantitative is actually like getting a measurement, maybe the length, width, height of an object. It could be getting the mass or the volume. It could be getting even just like maybe a number or temperature with it. So something that is a little bit more numeric, that we can give it a numeric value. Where qualitative is almost like a description. So for example, if we think about the weather outside, we might say today it was 98 degrees outside. That would be quantitative. And qualitative, I might say it was really sunny with few clouds, and you could feel the humidity. It felt sticky. That's a description, so that's qualitative. And so that's what we're going to practice today with this data collection. So this is the first kind of at-home lab that you're going to possibly be doing. And so I wanted to go and show you some household items that you could use to help figure out some of the things. So if you take a look at the directions here, it says collect the below household items to complete in this activity. Distinguish between the items by making careful observation and collecting both qualitative and quantitative data. It says provide 2 quantitative measurements and 2 qualitative descriptive examples for each. Quantitative can include length, width, and height, or use a household scale to attain a mass. That's going to be the one that's a little bit more challenging. So let me kind of go through. So the couple of items that it's going to ask you to find is a flower, a coin of any sort. You can pick whatever you want. You don't have to go pick this flower. You can be something that mine's already wilting. I just cut it a second ago. A coin of some sort. I've picked up a quarter here. You could use one of the other things that you'll need is a book. Picked the family favorite, Dog Man, classic. And then there's also, once we need to find some kind of writing utensil, I picked a marker. Anything, it could be a pen, a pencil, whatever it may be. And then finally the last one's going to be a liquid. And I'm in my kitchen, so I went for my favorite, which is the bee sting honey and habanero pepper sauce. It could be anything. It could be a jug of milk. It can be a can of soup, whatever it may, whatever you can find that's some kind of liquid. So let me kind of go through and kind of talk about a couple of different things. So let's just pretend that we're going to go through this. So I'm going to do the flower one with you. So qualitative and quantitative. So this first one here is quantitative, and they want 2 examples. So let me kind of walk you through first a couple of different things that you could use to have handy when we do some of these labs. The first one is going to be a ruler. So I have a little simple ruler right here. I do want you to get used to using the metric system. I don't know if I can get it on there. So the metric system, which is the top part here is inches and the bottom one is written in centimeters. That's the one we're going to want to use. So some type of ruler with centimeters or millimeters. Same thing, you could also use a meter stick or just a ruler in general. So this is only a 6-inch one. You could also get a 12-inch one. You probably have one maybe at your house, or a yardstick. If you don't have any of those, you can get super creative. Maybe you have a sewer in the family and you can get one of their measuring tapes, which I think works really, really well. So this, or even if you don't have that, pull up a ruler on Google, get a piece of string and cut it to the 100 centimeters or some kind of centimeters so that you know exactly what it is. Don't use inches, use centimeters. That's going to be really, really important. We're going to be using the metric system. Or measuring tape. So hopefully you have something like this at home. If not, reach out, talk to me, we'll figure out something. But hopefully between something like this, you'll be able to get some good measurements. Other things that might be useful that you might have around your house is a scale, a bathroom scale, where you can like put something on it. This is probably going to not work well for this lab, only because mine doesn't pick. I tried to put the book on there and it picked the book up, but it won't pick anything else up because they're really, really small. But maybe not, and that's okay, and you do not have to go out and get one, but maybe you have a kitchen scale that is a little bit more precise at getting smaller measurements, and I'll show you how to use this, but it's just a little kitchen scale. Other good things to have is a measuring cup of some sort. You can use even just cups if you want to do that, but something that has the measurements in it. So hopefully someone in your house is a baker or a cooker of some sort, a cook, because not a cooker, of some sort, so that you have this. I do want you to also use the ounces. The ounce symbol is over. You can kind of see it there, the ounces. That's going to be really helpful with just getting some of the more metric, once again, units versus the actual standard form, which we use in the United States. So this is really helpful. And then finally, the last thing is, probably going to be seeing a lot of these in our lives now, is a thermometer so that we could get the temperature. I have one that I use for us here at the house, and then I also have our meat thermometer that will actually give me a pretty accurate temperature as well. So these are just some tools that you can use. You don't have to go get these by any means. I'm just trying to give you ideas on things that we would have had in the classroom, but since we're at home, I feel that you could probably get some of this around the house, or hey, now's a great time to go meet a neighbor and ask them if you could borrow, instead of a cup of sugar, just the actual cup. So go ahead and try to find that materials. If you need to pause the video here and then come back, that's totally fine. But let's take a look at our flour again. So if we're looking for quantitative pieces of information, I could do a couple of different things. I could measure just the length of the stem. So by doing that, let's see here, 15, kind of hold it up so you can see what I'm doing here. So 15, 16, 17, 18, it's about 18 centimeters. So I could just say 18 centimeter length of stem. That is a numeric piece of information. So all I did was measure from the top of the head of the flower down to the stem, and it's 18 centimeters in length. So that's one way. I could also look at maybe getting the measurement of the head of the flower here, or maybe a petal or a leaf. I could also look at getting the diameter, so maybe I'll do that. So let's see here. So I'm going to measure just this little top portion right here. So I'm going to take and measure right here. I'm going to do this so that I can see. And it is about 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter diameter of flower head. So there's my two quantitative. You could also get the mass if you wanted to. If you had something that's much smaller, I could set this down here, measure it out. And I'm getting a read of 0.6 milligrams here. So you could also say mass of flour is 0.6 grams. There you go. So that's more than you need. You don't need these three, but just to kind of give you an idea. You could then also look at the qualitative. So think qualitative is just description. You could say petals are yellow. Petals are yellow. I can talk, right? And then you could also say it has 1, 2, 3 leaves. And then we could even be more descriptive, I guess, if we wanted to, and do green. leaves. So there's two different ways to kind of make that measurement. The last thing I want to kind of talk about is you could also do like a water displacement. This would not be good with the flour, but it could be with the coin, where you would fill this up to, let's say, maybe about 4 ounces, and then you would drop the quarter or whatever coin you decide to in, and that water level is going to go up ever so slightly, and then we're just going to find the difference. So let's say that it started at maybe 4 ounces and it went up to 4.5. I would just find the difference by subtracting 4.5 from 4, which means that the coin weighs about, or has the volume of about 0.5 ounces. So that could give us some pieces of information too. So this is just, or you could take the temperature of it. It's probably going to be at room temperature, but turn your thermometer on, plug it on in, pretend like it's in here. Oh, this one wants a cap on it. I forgot I need a cap. Here we go. I think I can pretend like I have a cap. Got to be sanitary. So it's kind of reading something right there. I'm having a hard time with it because it needs a cap, but you could do that as well. So these are just simple tools to kind of help you through this activity. If you're struggling with it by any means, please let me know. I'd be happy to try to come up with some different ideas to kind of help you get through this. We will be trying to do several different activities like this. You might remember on the syllabus, I do have like a Hot Wheel car, or just even a car that rolls. And then you are going to want to get some kind of ruler, and they have them at Kroger or wherever you may need to. Let me know though, once again, if you don't, we'll figure out a way to get you something that you can use some measurements with, because we're going to be definitely moving into measurements after this activity. So hopefully this was helpful. Please reach out if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great day.